Happy Wednesday, St. Lucie County 5th graders. It's Mrs. LaShawn Ashton here with you today. And just like you guys are having some issues with virtual things, so am I. So I'm going to apologize now. The story that we're looking at today is called The Case of the Missing Deer. I do not have that story in hand, and it's not in the Journeys book I have. So bear with me a little bit today. We all have some obstacles and we have to overcome them sometimes. So before we start talking about that, I want to talk about 3 letters. P-O-V. Does anybody know what that stands for? P-O-V. Give it your best shot. Yes, point of view. Point of view. What is point of view? Well, we're going to talk about that. So, point of view is actually seen in one of your standards. So it's an RL standard. It says describe how a narrator or speaker's point of view influences how events are described. So, let's talk about that. We can use all different kinds of options. So let's talk about what we know best, which is virtual school. All of us are dealing with this. Some of us have access to things. Some of us don't have access to things. Like today, I don't have access to the story. So I have it pulled up on my screen along with the camera. So we're going to see how that goes. But virtual school, what's your point of view about home school right now? So what do you think about it? Tell me. All right, good. I've had all different kinds of responses. Some people saying they love it. They can create their own schedule. They can work on things as they want. They can take breaks when they want. They can eat when they want. And other students say that it's difficult. They want to be in the classroom with their friends. They want that teacher that sometimes they gave a hard time to be there to support them. So there's all different points of view. Some people like it, and that's their point of view. Some people don't like it, and that's their point of view. And there's no right or wrong answer because it is what you think. It's how you feel about something. It's your point of view. Now, with this standard 2.6, how does that influence how events are described? So let me ask you this question. If you like virtual school, doing all your work from home, you are going to describe the events differently. It is going to be a positive description. If you don't like it, you are going to describe things differently. It's going to be a negative description. So you're still talking about virtual school. So when it says influences how events are described, your point of view is going to influence that. So if you think virtual school is a good thing, your point of view is going to influence why it's such a good thing, and you're going to describe all the events as being wonderful, and you get to do this, and you get to do that. But if you don't like it, your point of view is going to influence others because you are then going to give all the reasons why it's a bad idea, why you don't like it, okay? Do you understand that? Perfect. I knew you would. It's just a review, but I wanted to bring it to something that you were dealing with now to talk about the 2 different sides. So influencing why it's a good thing or influencing why it's a bad thing. Just like if you're given the choice of chocolate cake. Some people like chocolate, some people don't like chocolate. They're going to have a different point of view. Now, is that going to lead the influence of events? They could say, oh, this restaurant only serves chocolate cake. You do not want to go there. Or you might say, oh, this restaurant serves the best chocolate cake. You definitely need to go and try it. So you're going to influence the events. You're going to influence if people go or don't go. So point of view is very powerful. It is your own opinion. There is no right or wrong answer. It's just how you see things and then how you describe them. So this week, the rest of the week, you're working with a text in Canvas. And if you don't have that text, that is okay. The text in Canvas is called The Case of the Missing Deer. So I'm going to go ahead and read that to you. I want you guys, I know you guys have been working super hard, so I want you guys just to relax and take a break. I wish I could show you the pictures, but I haven't figured out how to do that yet. So I am going to read it to you. So The Case of the Missing Deer. Do you think we'll see some deer soon?" Blake asked. From their chairs on the small patio, his mom and grandpa both nodded. The three had just arrived at their vacation cabin. Blake was kicking his soccer ball around the wide lawn and their cabin shared with three others. Beyond that were the woods, like a thick green wall. Grandpa had said the deer came right up to the cabins here, and Blake really hoped it was true. "You'll have to wait until it cools off," Grandpa told him, "but I bet we'll see some this evening." "Hey, pass me the ball." Blake looked up to see a girl about his age coming toward him from the next cabin. He kicked his soccer ball her way. The girl trapped the ball with her foot. "I'm Maria," she said. "My family has been here 3 days, and this place is great, but I forgot my soccer ball." She pointed to a third cabin. "There are 2 brothers staying at that cabin, Nicholas and Todd. We've just been kicking a pine cone around the last couple of days. I heard that deer come right up the cabins around here. Right up to the cabins around here, sorry." Blake said. "They do. It's really cool. All right, a real soccer ball." 2 boys appeared from around the side of one of the cabins. It was Nicholas and his younger brother, Todd. Within minutes, the 4 of them had a game going, with lawn chairs as goalposts. The game was loud and rowdy, and even though it was late afternoon, the sun was still strong. Blake pulled his sweatshirt off and flung it on one of the chairs. After an hour of playing and a few points scored by each team, they wrapped it up. Maria called to Blake as the new friends all headed back to their own cabins and dinner. "Hope you see the deer tonight." "Me too," Blake replied, but no such luck. After dinner, Blake kept watch for a while at the glass door, where no deer appeared. He joined his family to watch a video, but he kept going to the windows to check. By bedtime, Blake had not caught sight of a single deer. Living in the city, he would never be able to see a deer on his doorsteps. This was his only chance. The next day, Blake and his family had a lot of activities planned, but by late afternoon, he caught up again with Maria, Todd, and Nicholas. As they set up pine cones and dribbled the soccer ball around, Todd said, Did you see all the deer last night?" "A mom and her babies were right outside our kitchen window," Maria said. "We didn't see any at all," Blake replied. "We thought maybe it was too cold." "No way," Nicholas said. "They were all over the place." Blake frowned as he kicked the soccer ball across the lawn. "I'm sure they'll come to your cabin too, Blake," Maria assured him. "I saw them in your yard before you got here." "I don't get it," Blake said the next day, when he learned his friends had spotted deer in their yards. Again, the animals had avoided Blake's cabin. What was everyone else doing right? "Maybe I'll put some food out there, like some apples," Blake decided. Nicholas, Todd, and Maria thought this might work. Before dinner, Blake scattered apples near the cabin and all over the yard. He might not catch sight of a deer, but if the apples were eaten, at least he would know they had come to his cabin too. The next morning, Blake hurried outside to check on the apples. Not a single bit of apple had been eaten. It looked as if none of them had ever been moved. "It's the case of the missing deer," Todd said when Blake grumbly reported his bad news later this afternoon. "Sounds like a detective story," said Maria. "One I want to solve," Blake said. "I need to start thinking like a detective." "That means starting with all the facts you already know," Nicholas replied. There are many things the friends knew about the case of the missing deer. They wrote down what cabins the deer went to and when, as well as how many they had seen. "Are you sure you saw a deer around our cabin before we got here?" Blake asked Maria. She nodded, definitely. "Could it be the soccer ball?" Nicholas asked. "Before you got here, we didn't have one. Maybe the sound bothers the deer. But they don't come out at that time of day when we play. At night it's quiet, so it can't be that." A search around the cabins provided no clues either. Then Todd had an idea. "Let's check for tracks coming out of the woods." So I'm going to stop there because I want you guys to read the rest of it yourselves. I just wanted to give you guys a little sneak peek and talk about point of view. So, is Blake's point of view going to be different than Maria, Nicholas, and Todd's about the deer? Yes. because they're all seeing the deer and he's not. So his influence is going to be, these cabins are not good to go to. You're not going to see deer. Don't do it. But the other 3 have all seen the deer and they saw mom and the babies. So their point of view is going to be, yes, you should go to the cabins. But I want you to read the rest and figure it out. And if you don't have access to this, that's okay. What you are reading, and I want you to read something either informational or literature based, and think about the point of view. Is the person telling the story, or is the person giving the information? Is their point of view influencing what's going on in the text? Tell a friend, tell a teacher. I'll see you guys next week. Have a great weekend.